What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I went in testing, I sat down for about an hour, ran numerous laps on all the GP tracks. Every time that I got a weird kick on the back end or a weird front tuck, anything like that, I went into replay, I looked at what was going on, and I tried to make changes accordingly. And now I've got to a place where I feel like I have a pretty decent setup. Now this setup, before I show up all the numbers on the screen, obviously it is on the Suzuki 450, which I feel bad for abandoning my girl. You know, she's been with us since for the last couple of races, and she done me all right. And switching to the Yamaha last second, it was a recipe for disaster. So we're going to go back to the old banana bike for a while. Now it's worth me mentioning, this setup is probably not going to get you fastest qualifying times by any means. This setup is purely built for being smooth and consistent. If you want to, you know, if qualifying comes around and you want to chuck 1 litre of fuel in her and try and push as hard as possible, you can definitely do well on it. I mean, around Argentina right here, I think I only do about 2 laps for this, but I think my second lap was in the 130 area, which I believe puts you in the top 10 somewhere. I can't remember all the times off the top of my head. And then on Thailand as well, I think I've got a 141 on it, which would have been around the top. But then obviously you have to bear in mind that I've had practice on the track since then, and yeah, so on and so forth. So the way that you want to ride this bike is probably a gear higher, especially going into braking sections. If you can stay ever so slightly on the throttle and a gear higher and leant back over braking bumps, the bike absolutely munches them. It's so good and so consistent, and that's kind of what it's built for. And if I can run very smooth and consistent laps for an entire race that are still somewhat quick, I think I'll do much better than trying to go the absolute blistering pace that these top boys are going and ending up crashing like a couple of times a race. So that's going to be my strategy. I feel like that's what I used to do. I used to do it well, and I've moved away from that, so that's exactly what we're going to go back to. Now, I've also changed my steering a little bit. 100 directly in outdoors, not for me. I've changed it to 80, just to make things a little bit easier on myself, make things a little bit smoother, and give myself more room for error, I guess. And then also, when it comes to the gain, I usually run 94 point whatever it is. I have also changed that now to 93 point whatever it is. So just slow things down a little bit, so bear that in mind. If you usually copy my settings like for like, then I will still be running that indoors, because you kind of need that sensitive turn in to rail the 180 turns as fast as you can. But in outdoors, when the ruts are constantly changing and they've got hooks in them, etc., it's very difficult to stay in them for 30 minutes plus 2 laps, like the whole time, without making mistakes. So, first things first. On the very beginning, we have got the suspension screen. Now, there's a little bit of luck involved when it comes to making suspension for me, but I feel like I didn't do too terrible of a job. So I'm just going to read them off as they're on screen at the same time. If you want to pause it, take screenshots, if you want to load up your game in the background and listen, then feel free. So for the front spring, I've got 5.0. I've got 12 bump, 12 rebound, 4 preload, and 90 fork wheel. On the rear, we've got 50 spring. We've got 12 slow bump, 2 fast bump, 12 rebound, and 6 preload. Now, really, the only ones I ever used to change or mess about with too much is the rear preload and rear rebound. But I was messing around with the clickers a little bit, and I think I got a little bit lucky. I really do. But whatever the end result was, I'm very happy with. If we move over next, obviously the general tab, it's exactly the same as stock. It's got 8.5 litres of fuel for an entire 30-minute race, and then it's got 20 front leverage. Those are the only 2 changes. The tyres are 80 front, 120 rear. The drivetrain is 1352, because I like that slightly longer gearing. It helps the bike handle bumps quite a lot better, I believe. And then finally onto the others tab, we have of course got the Yoshi mapping to make the Suzuki actually do anything. We've got a 22 fork offset, 2 fork height, 6 swing arm length, and 133 rod length. So that is it. That is what should hopefully help you boys, and help me specifically, be more consistent in outdoors. We're going to go for a whole new method of approach. Obviously, we've got an off week. I won't be here for Supercross on Friday because I'm going to Qatar, and then on Monday we've got an off week for GPs, so it won't be until the following week that we actually get to test it. But I'll do a bunch of practicing between now and then. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like on the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. All that lovely stuff. And have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.